My personal timeline with IHOP is as follows. From 1989 to 1992, I heard about Mike Bickle through the Morningstar Prophetic Bulletin, published by Rick Joyner. From 1992 to 2000, I visited Metro Vineyard Fellowship for conferences. From 2000 to 2002, I visited the trailers a couple times when IHOP began. In 2009, I moved my family to Kansas City to join staff, went through introduction, but IHOP lost my paperwork. I started working with Lou Engle. From 2012 to 2018, I had occasional interaction with Mike while working with the call. In December 2018 I officially joined the ELT. At the end of 2021 I made my first attempt to resign. Shortly thereafter, my wife and I heard troubling reports about Luke Bickle having an affair with the wife of a man on my team. It was destroying both marriages. I directly challenged Stuart and Mike about the handling of this matter. They gave me answers. I trusted them, but I did not know they were lies. They asked me to stay on staff in ELT, which I regrettably agreed to, but resigned as VP of Messaging. On September 20, 2023, I was informed for the first time about serious allegations against Mike. On October 27, after the ELT's initial announcement of allegations, I stood up and disrupted the meeting. On January 9, 2024, I posted a lengthy warning that IHOP had set itself on a course that seemed dangerously similar to the posture of Pharaoh, and may in fact indicate that God himself was permitting further levels of heart hardening so that the cleanse is not partial, but total. On February 8, 2024, today, I publicly call for IHOP to cease operations. The prophetic history is too foundational, too flawed, and too untrustworthy, which means the foundation is equally flawed and unstable. An expanding record of illegal, and now with the Tammy Wood report, immoral, diabolical, and insidious predatory and abusive patterns of behavior from the visionary founder dating back to his 20s, with more still forthcoming, and no meaningful, deep, or specific confession from him. A baffling, insincere, manipulative, dismissive, excuse-laden, tone-deaf, cruel, legalistic, and shamefully unbiblical institutional response that has not only intimidated and shamed Jane Doe and Jane Does, but also eviscerated their own credibility among what was once one of the most loyal segments of the body of Christ. I could go on, but clearly, the mission's integrity and vitality has flatlined. We're pumping oxygen into lungs that can't breathe, and blood through a heart that has stopped, but like a corpse bride, we're dancing around the room, singing and praying, like it's all still wonderful. The people who still give themselves to this are truly beautiful people who love Jesus, but at this point, whether they are that madly determined dancer, or the corpse bride itself, the whole thing is a macabre show that further blackens the very idea of a house of prayer by existing in a cancerous form that utterly mocks the purity of the thing it seeks to sustain. What's on the other side? Who knows? Pragmatically and spiritually, the only possible way it could or should ever have a chance of living again, perhaps as something functional and local, not a movement that is big, impressive and inspiring, is to let this current corruption fall into the ground like a seed and die. And big if God should ever choose to resurrect it, and none of us should be surprised if he doesn't, at this point it should only come from a lights out, doors closed, full stop death. Maybe that will mean something new has truly been born, but this IHOP, the one founded by Mike Bickle, has forever sullied the very name it helped to popularize. This house of prayer is not something that should continue one day more. IHOP-KC board, whoever you are, do the right thing. Investigate it all, openly and completely, with a mutually agreed upon, independent third party. Liquidate assets to set up a fund for trauma counseling for the broken staff and to care for the Jane Does, their marriages and their families. Take whatever money is left, and give transition funds to the last remaining staff. Then shut it down. I am not speaking as or for the advocate group. I am speaking for Jeannie and me.